You know, Christians are always trying to impose their morality on everybody, and two of the big issues that conservative Christians get behind in America is they're against gays, they're against gay rights, they're against gay marriage, they're against gay people being acknowledged pretty much in any positive way, and they're also against abortion. So let's take a look at those two issues real quick. We're going to have to read from the Bible. I apologize. It's boring as fuck! But it's kind of necessary to examine these beliefs that so many Americans claim to cherish and hold. So on gay issues, there's some stuff in the Bible that could be construed as against gay people, but there's really only a few explicit examples of like, fuck the faggots, you know what I'm saying? One is in Leviticus, where it basically tells you, if you lie with a man, as you all, lie with a woman, you'll be put to death, and he'll be put to death, and you'll all be put to death, and everyone's going to be put to death. Because you put your penis where God didn't want you to. He created the universe, but he's very concerned about your genitals and where you may put them. Leviticus also contains rules like, don't eat shellfish, don't mix fabrics and clothing, don't plant different seeds in the same field, don't get tattoos, don't trim your beard. Oh shit! I just cut mine fucking clean off! Ah! I'm going to hell!
Hey little boy, you're going to hell?
Oh, you're going to hell. Cursing your mother and father is punishable by death. Fuck you, Dad! Oh shit! Another thing punishable by death, blasphemy. Fuck you, God! Oh, shit! The other outright condemnation of homosexuality is actually in the New Testament. A lot of liberal Christians don't like the fact that there's verses condemning homosexuality in the New Testament, but that's just the way it is. Paul says in Romans 1:20 through 132, and I apologize, this is a long excerpt.
The invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen.
Oh, God.
Being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, that they are without excuse, because that, when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. Wherefore God gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature, and likewise also the men. Leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful. They which commit such things are worthy of death. Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
Blah, 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 blah. Basically, this is Paul's list of all the kinds of people that are fucked and evil and should probably just die. And yeah, gay people are in there. In fact, this is the Bible's only explicit mention of lesbians. Fun fact. Here's some of the other things that can get you, that are deserving of death. Unrighteousness. So basically, you're not pious enough, you deserve to die. Fornication. You fucked someone outside of marriage. You fucked someone when you were married to someone else. Whatever. You're going to hell. No one wants to hear your excuses. Covetousness. Oh, I saw my neighbor's new Cadillac Escalade and I fucking thought to myself, man, I'd like one of those. You deserve to die. Full of envy. Same deal. Debate. Debate. You want to argue with the things I'm saying? You deserve to die. Proud people, boasters. Yeah, so basically every athlete in the NFL, dead. So obviously this is ridiculous. When you look at the full context of everything that Paul condemned and everything that Leviticus condemned, their condemnation of homosexuality kind of loses its weight, because no one follows any of that shit. Now when it comes to abortion, there's some interesting Bible verses there. This is Exodus 21:22 through 23. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall surely be punished, according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life. So basically, if you rape a woman and cause her to miscarry, you just have to pay a fine to her husband. If you rape a woman, cause her to miscarry, and then kill her, then you're put to death, basically. So what's interesting about that is that the life of the fetus is not considered a human being, because if it were, then you would be put to death even for just causing the miscarriage. And if it be from a month old even unto 5 years old, then thy estimation shall be of the male 5 shekels of silver, and for the female thy estimation shall be 3 shekels of silver. That's in Leviticus. So basically, you're not even considered a person of any worth until you're at least a month old. And it's not really surprising, because a lot of fucking babies probably died before they reached that point. Reaching a month old was like, hey, I think this one might make it. We can consider it a full-fledged person. There's 2 other verses I have that basically amount to the same thing. Plenty of examples in the Bible where fetuses just don't seem to be afforded human rights in the eyes of God. So there's actually no biblical basis for the whole we're against abortion bullshit debacle. It's kind of interesting to me, though, that all these Christians who say that the 10 Commandments are the basis of law, that the 10 Commandments should be, built out, so we should put them in our courthouses, it should be part of our law, blah, blah, blah. Well, here's an interesting thing. Sabbath breakers, Breaking the Sabbath! This is the Sabbath. Break it! Break the fucking Sabbath! I'm a Sabbath breaker, oh yeah! 4th commandment. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. And what is the penalty for breaking the Sabbath? Well, we find that out in Numbers 15:32-36. Now while the sons of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man gathering wood on the Sabbath day. Those who found him gathering wood brought him to Moses and Aaron and all the congregation, and they put him in custody because it had not been declared what should be done to him. Then the Lord said to Moses, the man shall surely be put to death, and all the congregation shall stone him with stones outside the camp. So all the congregation brought him outside the camp and stoned him to death with stones, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. So Moses, the very guy that God had given these commandments to, caught someone breaking the Sabbath, gathering wood on the Sabbath day, and the punishment that God prescribed was death. And a lot of people will say, well, the New Testament overturns this. Actually, no, it doesn't. And let's say it did. Let's say the New Testament overturns that or supersedes that. Well, then then it supersedes all the 10 Commandments, so the whole list is fucking worthless. You might as well throw it in the fucking trash. But in Matthew 5:17, Jesus explicitly says that's not the case. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law of the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. And in some translations, Jesus even mentions Moses specifically by name. He says Moses and the prophets. But most versions just say the prophets. But at any rate, Moses was the biggest prophet before Jesus. So, the 10 Commandments say, remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy, don't do any work. The very guy that got the 10 Commandments executed someone for breaking that commandment, and yet, here in America, remind me again, in this majority Christian country, is there a day that we just all take off and no one works and no one does anything, and the entire fucking economy just shuts the fuck down? You can't go to a restaurant, you can't fucking go to a movie because there's no one working. No one working anywhere. Is there a day like that? Remind me. No, there's not. No one gives a fuck about the Sabbath. The Sabbath is inconvenient. No one wants to sit around their house just saying, well, it's a Sabbath, so I guess we just could sit around and pray. No one. I mean, maybe some fucking hardcore extremist fringe Christians are like, we're gonna fucking honor the Sabbath. But most people, they don't give a fucking rat's ass about the Sabbath. They're fucking perfectly content to work on the Sabbath or use products and services of other people working on the Sabbath. And that's no big deal. But these very same people who routinely break this rule that according to their own book should be punishable by death are going to presume to tell us, oh, gay people are wrong, abortion is wrong, because our book says so. Well, your book is garbage. I've demonstrated it. I fucking demonstrated it as garbage.